who's running for Assembly District 6. I'm going to pass it over.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Frame, and I'm running for Assembly District 6. I'm the non-corporate candidate running, meaning I don't take any corporate money. I have a little bit different perspective from the other 9 candidates in my assembly race, in that I also founded and ran a small business in California for over 25 years. And really running a business gave me the opportunity to do things like volunteer in my son's school. And I became a super volunteer in that school. I worked in the garden program. I started a filmmaking program for the students in that school. And then when my son Everett was in 2nd grade, his principal was shot and killed during the school day. And I'll tell you, he was the kind of person you want as a principal in elementary school. He knew every student by name. He knew their family situation. His catchphrase was "do the right thing," because he fundamentally thought that everybody knows what that is. And so when I was asked to step up and run for the school board in that district, I stepped up and ran because it was the right thing to do. I served on that school board for 9 years, and I learned everything I could about education policy, about our state. For example, 10% of them were homeless at any given time. And then 70% of the students in that school I thought I knew so well were food insecure. I realized quickly that there was only so much we could do in the 4 walls of that school, that many of their challenges existed outside of the school. And that's why I'm running for state assembly, because we need to take on the challenges in a meaningful way. I would imagine I'm one of the only Democrats here tonight, and I will just say this. With the state legislature being run by a supermajority of Democrats, our party owns that. Our party owns it. And that's why I'm running, because I want to make it better. I joined my party to improve my party. And let's be clear, I hate to say it, Preston, but I think we both know, this district is going to be run by a Democrat. The Democrat is going to win this seat because of the demographics of it. I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, it's just the reality. Yeah, it's fine. And I've run in places. By the way, I was on the school board in Placerville, and mostly the people there were Republican. So I understand what Preston's up against. But the reality is, you have an opportunity to choose a Democrat who will actually go there every day and isn't bought and bossed by the people who have a financial stake in our huge budget and in maintaining the status quo that we have here today. And that's why I'm here before you tonight, because I want you to know that I'm the kind of Democrat you want in this seat. Thank you.
Thank you. And Frame, I'm sorry, I said Frame. Okay, so we have Preston Romero, who's also running for Assembly District 6.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Preston Romero, and I'm running for Assembly District 6, which is pretty much 4/5 of Sacramento County. It goes all the way from Thomas at the far north to about South Sac, Land Park, and then from the river all the way up to Arcade, parts of Carmichael. So it's a very big district, it's a very consequential district. And with your ballot, you're going to have a lot of decisions to make. One of those decisions I hope make easier to vote person. Running for office is not something that you should want to do. I've stood here, here in California for a decade now, having moved here 12 years ago. I've been here, and it hasn't gotten any better. The homelessness has gotten worse. The prices have gotten higher. Neighborhoods are feeling a little unsafer. I'm working to address those things. My platform is focused on homelessness, finding real tangible solutions on that, looking at affordability, looking at where we can cut regulations, prices, make things a little bit more affordable. No one should have to choose between a gallon of gas or a gallon of milk or even a prescription, especially if you're a single mother like mine, if you're a retired person, if you're someone who's having these difficulties. It's just not a very friendly state to be here right now. And I'm working on public safety, what we can do to make people feel safe in their homes, make people feel safe to just kind of commerce and commute around town. I work downtown. As soon as the sun goes down, I want nothing to do with the downtown because it's such a, especially down K Street, it's just not a very, very safe or welcoming environment. So I'm looking to change things and turn things around for everybody, regardless, Democrat, Republican. I don't care. I just want to know that I'm someone who's going to get out there and work, someone who's willing to put, prioritize, solutions over talking points. And when you think of Preston Romero, I want you to think of Romero as results oriented. Romero as return to reality, because right now we're kind of in bizarro land, and I want my California back, the California that I thought I was coming to. I want my community back. I want everybody to live and prosper here. And so I'm the candidate who's going to put in the work I have a front row seat at the legislature's a policy on this, so I got a front row seat to what kind of shenanigans are going on. And I'm standing up and I'm saying it's enough. And President Romero, running for Assembly District 6, and I'd love to have your vote and support. PrestonRomero.com for more information and get those ballots in. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, sticking to Assembly, we have Dr. Vinaya Singh, who is running for Assembly District 10. Here you go, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Vinaya Singh, and I'm running for Assembly in Assembly District 10. I got an opportunity to study various type of governance system, for example, democracy, monopoly, communalism, dictatorship, etc. And I visited more than 30 countries for this study. And I found that in most of the countries, people are suffering from corrupt democracy and failed education system. What is corrupt democracy? So democracy is equal to election, and election is equal to huge amount of money needed to win, and huge amount of money is equal to corrupt practices. Therefore, democracy is equal to corruption. So what is happening in most of the countries, the prime minister or president, they are controlled by corporates. They pump money and make sure that their candidates wins the election. And therefore, you see most of the countries, there is no democracy, but only rich people are controlling those countries. And here also, in time to come, you will see this country will be also controlled by richest people of this country. So we have to work together to make we have to make such a way that there is no money spending by any candidates. The government should have some kind of funding, provide infrastructure where all the candidates can have a platform, they can debate there. The government can provide also infrastructure, YouTube channels. Through that YouTube channels, we can reach to the people, and government can also send our resume to the people. So everyone will be equal, and there will be no money-based competition, but it should be a talent-based competition. So my first priority is I have some idea. I have started a movement against corrupt democracy, and I want in United States also the real democracy should exist and people should practice that. And I will also work on failed education system. What is happening here? Because of failed education system, we are getting crime and homelessness. It is increasing because there are more and more dropouts, and those dropouts are landing into crime, or they are landing into homelessness because they are not part of the workforce. So I am here. I came to learn also from different countries that one cannot solve a problem until he is a politician or he is a legislator. So I am now here in politics, and I am running for assembly in Assembly District 10, and I guarantee you that that will be my goal number one, to fix failed education system and corrupt democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll jump to federal. So Chris Bish is running for Congress, District 6, right?
Correct.
Okay, here you go, man.
All right. I can't believe they put me on a leash.
You can't walk. You'll
Can't
take
walk
it down.
that far and take control of the room. Hi, everybody. My name is Christine Bish, and I am a Republican running for Congress in Sacramento 6th Congressional District. Now, we're talking to a lot of other candidates here. We're talking about schools. We're talking about crime. Well, it's trickled down. We see what's going on in Washington, D.C., how it affects our schools, the transgender policies that are in school. We're also seeing what's going on at the border. Now, I'm going to tell you, my opponent during the Trump administration went down to the border and was protesting the Remain in Mexico policy. Well, we can all see how that's worked out. 10 million illegal aliens in this country. Those are the ones that we know about, the ones that have been tagged and released, the ones that they call gotaways. We don't know about all the other ones. We have a big mess to fix, not only with the border, but with the economy. When people, like Preston said, we're deciding between a gallon of gas or a gallon of milk. I know seniors who are being taxed on their Social Security income. Money that they paid into the system during their working years, and now they're being taxed on it again. This is criminal. These are things that need to change. My background is as an investigator and also as a realtor. I've had my real estate company for the last 20 years. We know Sacramento, California, and the entire country is facing a housing crisis. Did you know that there are limitations on VA loans for the homes that people can buy? So in Sacramento area, we have a lot of these units. They're called McEwens, and they're 4-unit condos. A vet cannot purchase one of those. Those are the most affordable and plentiful condominiums in the Sacramento area. But because of the regulations through the Veterans Administration, they can't even be considered to purchase those homes. There's a lot of things that we can change. We can change education. The other big issue that's coming up, not only in California, but across the country, is the cost of a college education. The ability to afford college. Other than the federal government, why would you put a 17-year-old in $200,000 worth of debt? Again, my background is in real estate, finance, investigations. We can fix the way we do student loans. We can't change the universities, but we can base our guarantees on student loans based on the ability to repay the debt. And I have a detailed plan on how we can do this by applying the same matrix, if you will, that we use in government guaranteed loans in what we're willing to guarantee in a student loan. It's based on the earning potential of the degree. Now, I'm talking about things that are outside of the box, things that most congressional candidates aren't talking about. It's education, homelessness. Right now, we know the homelessness population is caused by drugs. It's not a lack of housing. It's a lack of accountability. And the poorest border is where the bulk of the drugs are coming. They're killing our children. They're killing our economy. And for the working class, for skilled trades, people who are plumbers, framers, air conditioning, those are your jobs. If we do not control the border, our economy is going to be worse. The drugs are going to be worse. We're seeing on the news where schools are being impacted. Our children are already not getting a quality education. One of my opponents is president of a school board right here in Sacramento. Last 18 years, those children are at 29% math proficiency, 38% reading proficiency. This is a failure from the top down. As to my opponent, if he can't take care of 2,000 children, how can we expect him to serve the almost 900,000 residents of the district? My name is Christine Bish. I am the fighter that you want in Washington, the person here in Sacramento that is connected to our communities, connected to the people in this room, connected to our schools, our housing. This is my fight, and I'm willing to take it to Washington for you. So I ask, if you are here, please vote Christine Bish. If you're not in the district, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, because it's time to send a Bish to Congress.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay, so with that, we're going to move to city council candidates. We'll go ladies first. Penelope, would you like to start?
No, I don't want to go.
No?
Not fair.
So my name is Penelope. I'm running for city
council for District 2. District 2 encompasses the Del Paso area, Del Paso Heights, Harding Fair, Cal Expo. Essentially, it is zip codes 95815 and 958. I'm delighted to be running for this district. There's 9 people in the race, including myself. But I found out that's a small race compared to some of these here. It's 10 or 12 in there. And so the reason why I decided to run for this race is because I saw something that I didn't like. And I finally decided to do something about it. I saw that there were kids being bused from District 2 over to District 1 so that they can enjoy the water park. I was starting to think, why is it that children in District 2 did not or could not enjoy the same amenities that they were enjoying in District 1? It angered me a little bit to the point I started letting people know about it. And then some people asked me, what are you going to do about it? At first I said nothing, like what could I do about it? And then someone suggested that I run for city council. I decided to look up what did that mean and what I needed to do. And then once I found out, I said, yeah, I need to do that. I need to do something besides nothing this time. The community that I care about, I cannot no longer continue to let it go and fall by the wayside. District 2 has been plagued with homelessness. It's been plagued with low income. And I want to do something about that. The first thing I want to do in this District 2 is to clean up the trash, the blight. That's number one for me. I believe that when you deal with the trash, then you can tackle the rest of the issues. But it's difficult to talk about what needs to be done when you're just sitting around couches on the street. And so I want to tackle that first. And then I believe that's when we can begin to have the conversation about the homelessness that's in the area. How can we help the homeless get to better housing or get into some housing? I believe that we need some wraparound services, that we do have to deal with the mental health issues that come with being unhoused. I can only imagine if you have been unhoused for 30 days or 30 years, it does something with your psyche, and we need to address that before we get someone into a home. Because if we don't do that, then all they're going to do is get in there, just going to trash it. And we want to make sure that we give them an opportunity really to be able to live so that they can be successful. My name is Penelope Larry. I was trying to think of some funny pun. Penelope, prosperity, power. I didn't think of anything, so I'm Penelope Larry. If you want to check me out, I'm going to be at the back table, but my website is PenelopeLarry.com. I'm going to say, what's my name?
Penelope Larry.
What is it?
Penelope Larry.
.com.
Good job. Thank you. Okay, so also running for city council, we have David. Now, you guys are different districts. Correct. Want to take the mic?
Thank you, Gabby.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. So my name is David Drelinger. I'm also running for District 6 City Council. That's an area that encompasses a large part of Oak Park, Colonial Heights, College Glen. It runs from Watt Avenue all the way to Folsom Boulevard, to Elder Creek, and along the Stockton Boulevard corridor. This is the most affected area in Sacramento, if you ask me. We have the largest unsheltered population. And I'm here not because I'm a polished politician, but because I'm a concerned citizen. Because my 10-year-old son sitting in the back of this room right now, he does not have the promise of a better tomorrow right now. He does not have the promise of home ownership. He doesn't have the promise of a good education, right? Formerly, I was a foster and a group home youth. So statistically speaking, I shouldn't be here right now. All of my contemporaries are the unsheltered today. They fill the prison system of California, and many of them are dead from drug overdoses. I was lucky to find education, to find the community college system that elevated me up. I'm living proof that our government can work for people. If with unity, as long as there is a little bit of motivation, as long as there's a navigator to hold someone's hand, you can make it. It doesn't matter how disenfranchised you feel right now. I'm living proof. I recently graduated from Lincoln Law School with a Juris Doctorate degree. I take the California bar next week, okay? From group home to soon-to-be lawyer, right? And I'm the underdog in this race. I'm the wild card. But when you want the game to change, you play your wild card, okay? You don't keep playing the same moves again and again and hope for a different result. According to Einstein, that's the definition of insanity. If we continue to repeat the same moves, right now the current incumbent in office, his name is Eric Garrett. He sat in office for nearly 10 years. The only numbers that we've seen raised in District 6 are his salary from $65,000 to $105,000, and the number of the unsheltered in my district, which is right now 250% greater than when he took office. Okay? Now, these numbers are, you don't have to take my word for it. You should look into this. Sacramento, the city, has 530,000 people and a budget of 1.5 million. 50.5% of that budget goes to city services. And because the city has the nerve to do things like violate the Brown Act and slip in pay raises like they tried to do with Howard Chan in December. To raise his pay raise, he's already the highest paid city manager in Sacramento. But this city council is so corrupt that they attempted to raise his pay raise and give him even more time off. If you want a pay raise, you got to do a good job. At least that's the way I've seen it, right? So some common sense decisions like this are what's going to get us out of the debacle that we find ourselves in right now. I'm not just running on ideas, and I actually have a plan. We're going to open up District 6 as a shelter-safe zone. The city already owns a large portion of the Army Depot along Fruit Ridge and Watt. My plan will create 3,200 shelter beds in the space of 6 months. We want to purchase 500 Connex containers, retrofit them into 16-person bunk units, 200 of them. That will instantly create 3,200 shelter beds. The rest of them we're going to retrofit into kitchen, bathroom, and social working offices so that our city's unsheltered, who we've left behind at this point, can be reintegrated into society so they can get the mental health services that they need. We're also going to create District 6 and declare it as a mental health safe zone. Because when you want to get down to the root of the issue is mental health, which we all live on a spectrum of to some degree or another, of mental health. We are humans, okay?
You looked at me.
I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at myself in the mirror because we're humans, okay? You got to be a little bit batty to want to run for office and change something when we feel homeless or when we feel, a few paychecks away from being unsheltered. There's no one in this room who, but for the grace of God, we would not be disenfranchised, right? Though it feels hopeless, right? Though it feels like your votes don't count. This is going to come down to a few hundred votes in my district. You may not be in my district, but I need you to spread the word. I need you to let people know to get out and vote. 15,500 votes historically takes it in my district, okay? And it comes down to a few hundred votes in the end. You may not be in my district, but you have a platform. You have friends. Tell them, vote for David Drelinger. That's my website, by the way, www.daviddrelinger.com. You can check out my plan. You can check out my ideas. When you want someone to do your roof, right? You don't call a babysitter. You call a roofer. If you want someone in office to actually fight for your rights, you need a Juris Doctor. I'm a doctor of law. I understand the way the legal system works. I know how to fight for your rights. I know how to get what you want, okay? I know how to use the government and manipulate it the same way it's manipulated us to this point, and to get back what we need, which is the promise of a better tomorrow, right? And if we're not careful, that will slip so far out of reach that it will be unattainable for tomorrow's generation. For my son sitting back there. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Stand Up Sacramento, Gabby, and please get out and vote. It's imperative.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey. Okay, so for the next seat, Sacramento County Office of Education, I find often that people don't know what they do. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information, and then I'll let the candidates fill in. So I'm looking at my notes. So the county consists of 7 elected members, each serving 4 years. And there are 58 counties in California. So we have a county office of education for each one. They work with and oversee every district in the county for school board. So that's 14 school districts. I'm getting feedback. Let me do this. So they oversee the county's school districts and do things like put someone in charge of a district's budget. If there's a financial crisis, they coordinate legal fees, payments if the school district gets sued. They develop professional development programs for teachers, principals, and other staff. They operate special programs, okay? So may I have Linda come up? You're running for which seat? Area 4. Here we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Linda Christopher-DeWilde, and I am running for Sac County Office of Education, Area 4 School Board seat. The reason why I wanted to run is because I wanted to give back to my community. I've been in education for 30 plus years. Don't do the math because I'm really old, but I'm good. I love the experience that I've had in my time working as a teacher. I was a classroom teacher for 20 years. I was a principal. I was a principal of an alternative education high school. So I worked with students that were adjudicated youth. They were on probation. They were those kids who weren't hardwired for traditional high school, and I loved them. They were brilliant, and I used to say they were just too smart for school. And so one of the things that the Sac County Office of Ed does is they do oversee the Court community schools. And so I have a lot of experience in that area, and I'm very passionate about those students because they have the right to have their dream comes true and their hope. And we are oftentimes throwing away kids, and I don't want to throw away kids ever again. We just do that through the system, and it's got to stop. So after being a principal, then I was a professional grant writer, and I worked for a large urban school district, and I ran the local control accountability plan. And that is the plan that is money specially set aside for foster youth, low-income students, and English learners. And I also was very, very active in the Teen Bento program, which is working with homeless youth. So really have a passion, again, for our students who we've sort of left behind. We have, every school district has 1,500, 2,000 homeless youth, and we don't really bring those up at school board meetings. We don't talk about them. They deserve our attention and our care and our love. And so I really want to bring my experience and my passion so that we don't neglect any student, anytime, anywhere. So my big priorities are making sure that our schools are safe as well. Nobody should be afraid to go to school. Parents should feel welcome on campus. I really want to make sure that our teachers are excellent, and the county, the Sac County Office of Ed really provides fabulous professional development for teachers, and I want to make sure that really keeps on going because we need to keep our teachers on the cutting edge of all of the latest strategies in education so they don't get too comfortable, so they want to really continue to elevate the students and help them innovate. There's so many things that are happening right now in the world, and our schools are kind of staying kind of stuck, but we need to push them forward. We need to build out our students as innovators and the next, the families that will live on Mars. So I really want to make sure too that we have the job training so that they can do all these amazing jobs that are coming our way. We need to have job training for our high school kids. We need to make sure that we have business partnerships with our schools, and that we also make sure that nobody gets denied access or an opportunity to really follow that career path that they're interested in, because I really believe that we all sort of have an internal idea of what is our purpose, and we want to make sure that students find their purpose and have that training that's offered to them. So it's really important to me that my experience, that you think of me as a candidate that brings experience, that brings some past wisdom and some failures and some mistakes and lots of learning that has come from all of that to help really make the right decisions for our kids. Because at the end of the day, it really is about our students, and that's what I stand for.
Thank you. Okay, so also running for Office of Education, District 4, Jay. Come on up. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Stand Up Sacramento, for hosting this event, and thanks for all the work you've done over the years. Been a part of, chat groups, and thanks for parents forum and keeping the community informed. So, hi, I'm Jay Martinez, running for Sac County Office of Education as well, Area 4. The area encompasses Orangevale, Fair Oaks, Gold River, and Citrus Heights, a portion of Carmichael, Foothill Farms, and Folsom. So, as far as myself, just right off the bat, I'm the outsider. I like that 100% corporate free. That I got to put that on mine. So, I'm corporate free as well. I'm a parent, and I want to come on the board and offer a fresh perspective. As far as myself professionally, I own a landscape contracting business. I've owned it for 11 years. I started, from the bottom. I started, cleaning toilets. Installing lawns. So I worked my way up, and realized this how lucky and blessed we are to be in America, live American dream. I also serve currently in the realm of public service. I'm currently the vice chair of the Orangevale CPAC committee. I sit on the Citrus Heights Water District Customer Advisory Committee, and I'm also on the Sacramento County Republican Party School Boards Committee with this wonderful woman right here, Mona. So we've done a lot of advocacy over the last couple of years there. We've worked with other local officials to make some good policy. And we've gotten tangible results done in our community. We've also worked with the city of Folsom to work on SROs and getting those contracts renewed. As far as my priorities, literacy is very important to me. I know that, we know that if a kid doesn't learn how to read good by the third grade, they're likely to, 4 times likely to not graduate high school. So that's very important. I have the endorsement of 3 of the San Juan school district officials. They believe in my vision and what I can do to push the literacy agenda forward. And they also have the endorsement of the Folsom Cordova member, Jen Lorette, who also oversees this, happens to oversee this area right here. As far as safety, just straightforward, our kids' safety is the most important thing, hands down, hard stop. I'm endorsed by Sacramento County Sheriff's Association, Deputy Sheriff's Association, and also former Sheriff John McGinnis. You can hear him on the radio. So they believe in my vision for safety. We really need to take a look at the long-term consequences of our infrastructure and our safety, partitioning systems, robust locking systems. What are we doing? Are we being proactive? This is the kind of thing outside the box thinking I want to bring for safety. Those are my 2 big priorities. And I think the last thing, I was going to mention something, that's also on my website, but I just kind of want to keep it 100, as we get, that's what millennials kind of like to say. Some things just, as a parent of young kids, I have 3 kids, and also like the gentleman over there, I care about our kids and our future. What's our plan 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line? Right now, the current climate is, are parents the ultimate arbiters of their kid's life? I think that needs to be solidified. I believe that parents are the ultimate arbiters of their kids' life. We need to trust parents, and we need to trust their judgment. As far as what's happening in the schools, I've seen this the last couple of years, particularly at San Juan Unified. Do we know everything that's going on there? Not really. Parents need to be fully informed across the spectrum about what's happening with the kid, and we can subsequently use that information to protect the kids. That's the way I feel on that. And lastly, even though we're kind of dealing with a little bit of pandemic hangover, I think masking the toddlers was just an inept decision by government. That's my opinion. Should I get elected, these are the kinds of things that will be a forefront of mind. And I'm not afraid to tackle the hard problems. Just me saying this right now, I don't know who hates me or not, but I'm being genuine, I'm being honest, I'm a gentleman, and you will expect that professionalism from me on the board. And I just want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you all being here. To learn more about myself, feel free to take some cards there, like jmartinez.com. That's my information. And last thing I'd like to say is, if you go to my websites, again, I'm not corporate backed. If I'm elected, I want to be elected for the people, by the people, and of the people. I want to work for you. I want your endorsement. I don't need big money. I'm running off of like $7,000 or something, and that's everybody giving me money, little by little by little by little. Okay, that's what we're working with, and so I will work for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So next, I'd like to introduce Noel Carillo, running for Superior Court Judge. A total pivot from these guys, huh?
Yes, thank you so much. So the Superior Court judges don't come up, these seats don't come open very often, but we have one open this time. And so my message is one of fair and impartiality. I mean, after all these wonderful candidates here have positions, and they have things that they want to do. But a judge's job is to be fair and impartial. Currently, I'm an administrative law judge where I hear disputes between persons and counties. And what I've learned is that at the end of the day, both parties, what they want is they want to be heard. And they want to know that the judge, whoever's making the decision, is somebody that considered their position, their facts, and then evaluated those facts against the law fairly. Prior to becoming an administrative law judge, I served in a number of positions. My candidacy really relies on my experience. One thing you'll learn when you look at my candidacy versus my opponent's candidacy is that I have the broadest range of experience. So for example, I started my legal career in the Office of Legislative Counsel. And there, what we do is we draft legislative proposals for all legislators from both sides of the aisle. And the other thing I did was I represented legislators in court who were subpoenaed for their work, their votes, when they were in the legislature, and I became an expert in legislative privilege. Aside from that, I worked in the criminal courts, and I completed over 70 criminal trials. I've done I can't say every type of trial, but I've done everything from misdemeanors to homicides, even juvenile homicides. In fact, I spent 5 years working down the street at the juvenile courthouse. And when I was there, I found a gap in the law that prevented juveniles that were transferred up to adult court who were actually innocent to be able to be transferred back to juvenile court. And so what I did was I used my legislative experience and I drafted a bill where district attorneys and public defenders could work together to create justice. So that's me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my experience to forward justice. Aside from that, I worked in the Capitol for a number of years before going into law. One thing about this race, there's 3 candidates. There's a district attorney and a family law attorney. I am the only candidate I didn't even seek endorsements from lawyers or law enforcement because I believe, in fact, I know this, I know you know this as well, is that the impartiality, the independence of the judiciary has to be the most important thing that litigants see when they go into a courtroom. Both of my attorneys, both of my opponents have taken money and endorsements from lawyers. Imagine that. Imagine you're sitting on a jury. Now, one of the lawyers takes out a $100 bill and gives it to the judge and says, "Hey, judge, here for your next election." What are you thinking? I mean, do you think there's fairness in that courtroom? Right? Absolutely not. I see everybody shaking their head. And that's why I do not take any money. And I don't take any endorsements. In fact, I refuse them from lawyers. Because it doesn't matter which side you're on. It's just, it creates unfairness. And really, I think it goes to judgment. So in my race, I do believe that I'm the most qualified. I do believe I have the best judgment. And what I invite everybody to do is to go to my website and review the website and go to my opponent's website and make up your own mind. My website, carilloforjudge.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so last but not least, we have Central Committee, and we had both Dem and Republican Central Committee coming, but you guys showed up. Do you guys want to go together?
I can go.
Okay, so we have Monogram and Marina, both on the slate for Republican Central Committee, different districts. I'll hand it over.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Mona Graham, and this is Marina Gabel, and we're running together with a group of people for the Republican Party Central Committee. I'm running in District 3, Marina's running in 4. Sean said something that I think pretty much is a really great point that I'm trying to make by running, and that is as he looked at Preston, he said, let's face it, a Democrat's going to win, right? And that's exactly why I'm running, because in my mind, in my opinion, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And our Republican Party Central Committee at this point is not getting a qualified Republican to run in every single race that we have. Saying to a candidate you can't make it because the district is flooded with Democrats and there's no chance of winning is not an acceptable reason not to have a candidate in every race. And I don't know how many of you know this, but the job of a Central Committee, the one and only job of the Central Committee, is to get Republicans elected. That's the job. Find good qualified ones, promote and help them, raise money for them. That's the job. And we're failing at the job right now. We need qualified Republicans in every single race.
I don't really need that.
And Marina.
Hi. So I'm in Area 4, and I was brand new to politics. I'm one of those mama bears that started during COVID. My son complained about the education. Because kids do that, right? I don't like what my teachers do. So I attempted to recall the entire San Juan School Board and realized that's not the way to do it. You have to actually find the right people to put in, not just get rid of them. They call me passionate. So I started to learn the process. Yeah, I'm just kind of just go forward, do what I feel like I need to do. And I realized that finding the right candidates and placing them in the seats is really, really important. I had no idea what Central Committee was. Anna Rubaugh, who is Folsom City Council, I went to one of her fundraising events and I met her and she's like, I like you. I said, I like you too. And she got the position and she's also on Central Committee and she says, I want you to be my alternate. And I said, okay, what's that? Because the truth is a lot of people don't know what Central Committee is, but it's actually very, very powerful. And I had no idea. Completely clueless, but I just go in. I'm just one of those. So as alternate, I started learning how powerful Central Committee actually is. And I was very honored that she allowed me to be an alternate because I had no clue what I was doing. Now I have a clue. And I really want to hold this position. And I think it's really, really important. And I was just a parent, pissed off party of parents. I think I have what it takes to really grill the politicians to get the right people in, because I'm not afraid to talk to anybody, including you. So, Area 4.
So I'd like to add one thing. We are running together, a group of us who have the same passion for helping the party move forward. And we have on our table a slate of people that are running with us. So in our races, in my particular district, there's 16 people running for 8 seats. In Marina's, there's 18 people running for 9 seats. So we're suggesting that you review our list, take it with you, and vote with us so we can make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's all the candidates. I want to thank you. I let you guys go a little bit longer because why not? So for those not familiar with Stand Up Sacramento County, we formed during COVID with over-regulation, we'll put it politely. That's how we formed, and we have pivoted since then. As we learned and adjusted, we went from parents or business owners, I'm a self-employed family, starting to learn the things that we are not taught in school on how government works and the different tiers and the levels. I didn't know what a county board of supervisors was in the beginning. I didn't know what they did, who are they, why do they matter to me, and now I understand all the different branches, but we learned it on the fly. So the last 4 or 5 years have been a benefit in disguise, right? Like, yay. So that's kind of what brought us all here together. Now we pay attention to bills and ordinances that we believe will affect people's ability to survive and economically afford to live in this state, whether it's taxes or things that are unconstitutional or parental rights. We're paying very close attention to the unhoused situation, on how the millions and billions of dollars going in to fix it are doing nothing to fix it. It's just getting worse. And so we Stand Up Sacramento County is a nonpartisan group, and we pay very close attention to who is walking the walk, regardless of party. What are you doing? Because we don't care who backs you and who's doing what. We're paying attention to what you do once you're in office, because everybody can talk great, but when you're in that seat, and we have candidates who talked nicely a couple of years ago that run away when they see us come in because we have difficult questions. So we're at the Capitol often. Sometimes we're at the Board of Supervisors meetings. We pop up based on what is happening, and we take a stance of educating the community on what is coming, whether we support it or oppose it, and helping get people activated to call your legislature, book an appointment, go to the public meeting for the Board of Supervisors, pay attention. And so that is what we do. So this falls in line with that. So we thank you for coming. What I'm going to ask is, while I have the mic, before everybody goes to your table, where those of you that came, you have questions that you want to ask them before you make a decision on who you're going to vote for. We have a petition here, the Protect Our Kids. Can you hold this for me? So I can have my hands. It's on your face if you want to turn it
Oh, it's
around.
on my face?
If you would like it on your face, you may.
No, thanks.
Okay, so the Protect Our Kids initiative, this is irritating me. Okay, I'm on a leash, Chris, too. Okay, so the Protect Our Kids is a ballot initiative. I'm going to be walking around talking to you guys, too, but I'm going to have a clipboard with me if you would like to sign this. Protect Our Kids group is trying to get something on the ballot for November 2024, and it is one ballot measure, and it covers these three things. Requiring schools to notify parents regarding children's mental health concerns identified in the school settings, including the gender identification issues, protecting girls' competitive sports and school spaces to be for biological girls only, and preventing the sterilization of children by prohibiting the use of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, mastectomies, and genital surgeries for minors, not for adults, for minors. So I have the petition. I'm not going to come up in your face and say you need to sign it. Come to me, and I'd be happy to walk you through that. I won't harass you about it, but I have that with me if you would like to sign. And for now, if everybody wants to go back to your table, and then those that are here, feel free to mingle and walk around and ask them anything you would like. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.